Hey everybody, welcome to this week's episode of With All Due Respect. We are your hosts. I'm Ryan Shead. Marcus is right there. Brother, how you doing?
Hey, how's it going, brother?
It's going. A lot of news this week. A lot of news.
Indeed. Let's get into it, man. Let's
get right into it. I think we have to start with South Park going at Kristi Noem.
Man.
They held no punches.
No. None whatsoever.
If you haven't seen the clip yet, I think we're going to show it. But I got to say, I was like watching it and the first time I saw it, the very end is what got me. I literally went back in my seat and went, damn.
I'm going to tell you, man, I hated laughing at that because I love dogs.
Same here. Got 2 German Shepherds.
Wow. I mean, they've been going hard these last several episodes. So
are we rolling that clip, or are we just talking about it?
Man. Show people what we're talking about.
It's the whimpering. She's not done yet. Damn. Like, couldn't even let one get away.
Man.
That puts Cruella de Vil in a whole new
context. 101 Dalmatians.
Give Tulsi Gabbard a gun, and then we got something.
That is nuts.
It was.
They've been really going hard in it. But hey, I mean,
you know what?
Kristi
I'm
Noem,
personally happy about it, though. To see a platform like South Park that is so culturally relevant, you know, to basically just throw it all out the window and say, we're just going to tell it like it is. Like,
that's it. I mean, they go after everybody, and turnabout's fair play. This administration,
no different.
People who they go after, I think, how's the saying go? Turnabout is fair play. I mean,
yep.
This is they're getting their comeuppance right here, and South Park is dishing it out. So I say,
thank you, gentlemen. We appreciate you,
Matt, Trey.
Keep doing what you're doing. We'll keep showing it.
National treasures.
What is those? Had to be high capacity magazines. I'm telling you, I didn't even hear a reload in there.
It's just exactly. Just
oh my gosh,
bang, bang, bang.
We're dog friendly on this show, just to make very clear. Love of
dogs.
Course, it's just funny in the context of what we all know. Of
fact, my dog is hanging out under my desk right now. So
yep. Moving on to another dog that I'd like to talk about, and that's Dean Cain. Dean Cain has decided to join ICE, apparently. So what are your thoughts on that, brother?
Well, I mean, can I say that he's my least favorite Superman? I mean, so.
I think anybody that says differently needs a
come on
psychiatrist. Or
he's nothing compared to Reeves or Cavill. So, but he goes on saying
Roth, not even Brandon Roth.
And I heard his interview, how him talking about, well, I've been a sheriff and this, that, and the other. But yeah, man,
you were handed a badge.
Just
like you were handed this ICE position.
Exactly. I mean,
hey, me personally, I look forward to the first person that walks up, when he's got his face covered up, nobody knows who he is.
Right.
But he gets rocked anyway. And then they're like, oh shit, I just knocked the fuck out of Superman. I personally am waiting for that moment.
I mean, it could happen. This guy, he's gone full blown MAGA now, defending himself on this. I reserve the right to be, a federal agent. I've got training. I was a sheriff's deputy.
He's a wannabe.
You also played an American icon, Superman.
That was what?
However many years ago, and Lois and Clark? Yeah,
Lois and Clark. But Superman was an immigrant.
He was an immigrant.
You'd also call him an illegal alien today.
He may have grown up in Kansas, but he came from somewhere else. So
exactly. So it's kind of like, dude, you didn't even understand the premise of the show you were on.
Come on. I mean, this guy is to talk about destroying what little legacy you had with playing an icon. It's
That's a
gone
good
now.
point.
It's gone now. I mean, we're going to get a little bit more into destroyed legacies later in the show, but I say, Kane, you definitely destroyed yours, along with the likes of Kid Rock and Hulk Hogan. And,
Mm.
I mean,
Yeah, we'll get into that in
MAGA
a
just does
second.
it to him, man. What is it about MAGA that destroys these legacies of people who could have gone out riding high
Well, I mean,
if
let's
they
talk
chose
about it.
to be
Let's
assholes,
we
for lack of a
we,
better statement?
we were talking before the show about all the people that we've lost from our from our childhood, basically.
Yeah.
Started, at least the one I remember, was Malcolm Jamal Warner, Ozzy Osbourne, and then Hulk Hogan, Lonnie Anderson, and I'm sure there were a few other, but those were the ones we were really talking about. And
Daniel Spencer just died from
yep.
what's happening now.
Yes, thank you. And that was why we were talking about the others, was because of Daniel Spencer, who passed away at 60 due to cancer. So as always, fuck cancer. And yeah, so we lost all these people from our childhood recently, and we were talking about it in the context of, when you look at Ozzy Osbourne, like a couple weeks before he died, he's up on that stage. Everybody's cheering his name, listening to him sing, listening to other people sing his songs, and they're just loving him and loving it. And then you look at Hulk Hogan, and the last time he was in front of his fans at a WrestleMania, they booed him out of the arena.
Didn't go out
And
on a high note like Ozzy.
very
Went out on a
fitting,
very
right?
low. Yeah.
So, I mean,
It's fitting. MAGA destroys these guys. I mean, I grew up watching wrestling. I mean,
yep.
a lot of us did. And Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant, Junkyard Dog, Macho Man Randy Savage. These guys were like, you looked up to those
Bruiser
guys.
Brody, yeah, man.
You get little black kids, white kids, kids from everywhere, watching these guys and idolizing them.
Especially Junkyard Dog. I don't think people understand the representation that Junkyard Dog was bringing at the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
You didn't have a whole lot of black superstars. You had the Samoans, you had that, but you didn't have a lot of black superstars in wrestling. And so, it is cool even to see the brand today, and see how many,
Exactly.
black wrestlers there are today that are, they're name brands.
Exactly.
So, it's nice to see that it's changed a little bit, but it really is difficult when you see somebody from your childhood that you associate, good memories with. And then you see the kind of person they really are behind the persona that they projected. It's that old adage of don't meet your heroes, because you're probably going to be disappointed at the fact that they're actually human beings. They're flawed, and they may not think the same way as you, and they may think some ways that actually really disappoint you. And that was what Hulk Hogan was. Great entertainer, not a good human being.
I mean, at least here in the South, Hollywood was fake, but wrestling was definitely real. And, these guys were our heroes coming up.
Yep.
We loved that stuff. And, me and the guys get out in the yard and wrestle. And, we'd say, oh, I'm sure I probably said, oh, Hulk Hogan. Oh, I'm Andre the Giant, or I'm Junkyard Dog.
Yep.
Then you hear, and I heard that tape and I was
and
like,
you heard a table break.
Is this who Hulk Hogan really is? I mean, my goodness. Yeah. But then after the tape, it comes out, he's full blown MAGA, and it just goes to show, that wasn't a one off. This is who this guy is. It's probably who he's always been. Even when we were kids and looking up to him, that's who he was. And you hate to see it. But yeah, it's been again a tough month for Gen X. We've lost a lot of our,
even us elder millennials.
Even the older millennials. You grew up with Malcolm Jamal Warner on the Cosby Show.
Well, and even the Osbournes. The Osbournes in the 2000s, like that was really one of the first, reality shows of their kind.
Yeah.
So I mean, we kind of grew up with Ozzy being that crazy dad, and with his insane children, and his wife that tried to keep it all together. And so you feel like you lose a part of your life, part of your family, and the memories that go along with it. So it's hard to reconcile the memories that you have attached to an artist or entertainer or whatever versus what you find out about them personally. It is. It's hard to separate the two sometimes.
But flip side of that, with Danielle Spencer, I didn't know that she was in a coma for several weeks during an accident.
Nobody said anything.
stepfather, when she was doing that show in the late 70s, and we were watching it in syndication for the
You had
next
no
10,
idea.
15 years. I had no idea that she was going through all that in real life.
Yeah.
And, she just had a surgery recently. Was it a blood clot that was due to that? So
Yeah.
I think that was part of, what led to her death, with the cancer, battling cancer anyway. But
and sometimes it's not even, the cancer itself. It's all the, the side effects and things, Yeah, cancer sucks, man. If you've never watched somebody, I watched my dad, and it just, it's one of those things that doesn't discriminate, doesn't care who you are. It's going to eat you up one way or the other. And
I've seen it with my
and
grandmother.
60's young. 60 to me is young. So,
well, my grandmother died when she was 61, so very young.
My old man was 57. So I mean, that feels right around the corner, bro. That feels right around the corner.
I'm about to hit the big 50, so that's why we gotta take care of yourself, people. Cancer sucks.
Yes, I am a walking personification of getting your checkups will save lives. So, yeah, man, get your checkups. If you're having a problem, get your. And I hope you don't mind me taking a second. Matter of fact. I was telling Marcus before the show, my older brother, Patrick, if you watch Hold the Mic, you see him in the comment section every week. And a couple days ago, he went in the hospital and he's in heart failure right now. And I got off the phone with him right before the show. He's at, heart's at 25%. They're going to do a heart catheter tomorrow. They drain like 16 milliliters of fluid off his chest today. So they're going to do the other lung tomorrow. And, so we're not quite sure what the prognosis is here and what's going on. So if y'all can pray, send good vibes, if you're not religious, just send good energy. My family could definitely use it right now. And, we just all need to make sure that we take care of ourselves, not just for the people around you, but take care of yourself for you too. So,
you and your family, and, Patrick is definitely in our prayers here. And
appreciate that, bro.
If you're not religious, like, we are.
Everything helps. Everything helps. So, but let's move on to what people are here to watch us talk about. Let's start with.
We'll talk about this all day.
Fascism at home. As two veterans, I think it's safe to say neither of us could have ever predicted what we're seeing right now 20, 25 years ago when we joined.
No.
And what's your gut reaction to all this?
When I say things like Trump federalizing the DC police, and remember, I'm a veteran. I came from a family of law enforcement officials. Granddaddy was a sheriff and a farmer. It makes me feel like we're no longer living in the America that I grew up in. Yeah, I grew up in 70s, 80s, 90s, early 2000s. We had our problems then, but nothing like this.
No.
I mean, it makes me question. I mean, actually, I don't even question it anymore. I don't think we're in a democracy right now.
Nope.
With Trump and all of the sycophants who are serving him in the administration, who are actively chipping away at the guardrails. It's all about revenge for him, and they're playing right along with him. Like, okay, it's not about the country anymore. It's not about the working class. It's not about the people. It's not about the Constitution. It's about them holding power and just chipping away little by little until it's all gone.
Yep.
I worry for our country right now.
Oh, I'm terrified for our country. And for those of you who may not know exactly what we're talking about, I don't think you're probably living under a rock if you don't. But the president has deployed the National Guard in Washington, D.C., our nation's capital, along with federalizing the local police department.
Metro Police.
So the fact that we're watching a convicted felon, prolific business fraud, adjudicated sexual abuser, and an accused pedo sitting here controlling our military, federalizing our police, telling the Smithsonian that they're going to come over and make sure that they're projecting the correct history that Trump wants projected. Like, people, wake the fuck up.
Wake up.
I don't know what else to, like, what do me and Marcus have to do to get you people to freaking understand what is happening? Like, do you know how you take power away from somebody like Donald Trump? You stop fucking supporting him. It's really simple. Okay. Sure. If he doesn't have the mass following of dumbasses behind him doing what they're doing, then we don't have this problem anymore because he doesn't have the power. But what's happened is, as Marcus pointed out, is Donald Trump has taken he learned from the first time. January 6th was a dry run. He found out the key positions that he needed to have loyalists in to achieve his agenda. And guess what, guys? He's done it. Project 2025 is sitting at like 65, 70% completed. This dude has literally accomplished everything that he's wanted to in 6 fucking months. Do you even understand what we're looking at for the next 3.5 years if we don't do something?
We've got to do something. We've got to do something. And for all intents and purposes, yes, the guardrails held under his first administration. And why did it hold? Why did they hold?
Because you had honorable people.
It's about
at least somewhat honorable. Yes.
It's about, well, yeah, you had people like Milley,
yep,
and others, at DOJ who did the right thing. They understood the assignment. They understood that they swore an oath to the Constitution.
And even White House employees.
Man, even White House employees.
Yep.
People, even his lawyers
yep.
in the first Trump administration were saying, we're not going to do this. We can't do that.
I'm so glad you said
that goes against the Constitution. And that's, again, and I always say it, government is serious business for serious people who understand the assignment, who understand who they are there to serve, what they are there to uphold and defend. That's the Constitution. They're there to serve the people of the United States, not a president.
Yeah.
Not a president, even though they serve at his pleasure, but they're not there to serve him. He's not there to serve his own interests. Yep. He's there to serve you. He's supposed there to uphold, support, and defend the Constitution of the United States.
Yeah.
This guy, he's never cared about that, first and foremost. But he got an eye-opener in the first administration. And what did we do? Well, not we personally, but this country. We put him back in the office for a second bite at the apple where he did learn, okay, the only way to get around this is to do loyalty tests.
Yep.
And bring in sycophants who are going to do what I say. The Constitution be damned. American people
Patel,
be damned.
Pam Bondi, all of them. Yep.
And they're doing it. They're doing it. They're chipping away at it. So I say we're no longer living in a democracy. I started ringing this alarm bell back in 2021 after January 6th. Actually, I started before that because I saw where the white hot rhetoric was going, where Christian nationalism and things like that were heading and how dangerous all those things were. I started ringing that bell back then, ran for Congress against one of the worst of the worst.
Yeah.
But here we are, 4 or 5 years later, Trump again.
And even Margie Taylor
nightmares are coming to fruition right now.
Oh, for sure.
People need to wake up, like you said, wake up and see what's going on. Forget about all these distractions. The Epstein files, I could give 2 shits about it, really. I'm more concerned.
I'm still going to ask for him, though.
Right. So we know what's there. We're still going to talk about it.
We're still going to talk about it.
But let's not be distracted from
I agree.
What's really important. What's really at stake for us. So,
yeah, 100%.
Let me get off of my...
No, man, step on it more often. But I was just going to interject real quick. The interesting part is even Marjorie Taylor Greene has started being like, well, geez, maybe the Republican Party does hate women. Maybe they aren't about freedom. It's like you're just figuring this out. Buckethead.
I mean, we had a Christian nationalist preacher. I can't remember his name, but I saw the interview with him talking about what women's places are, beneath a man and what they're supposed to do, and they shouldn't even vote, and the family should vote as a block. Yeah.
Insane.
Is that it?
And I love the one.
This is all that Project 2025 stuff that we were warning about.
Exactly. And then we sit there. The one reporter said, okay, well, what happens if, the rest of the family disagrees with you? And he's like, well, I welcome that we'll have a discussion. It's like,
Have an
oh, so
open
you're going to go
debate.
vote the way you want to and screw your family. Gotcha.
Yeah. You already believe the woman has no say in, anything that a man chooses. So
Yeah.
she's got to vote the way you vote. That's the end of the discussion, right? That's how
Yep.
it's supposed to work.
Yep.
The debate's over. You don't agree? Well, this is how we're going to vote. It's stupid. The most asinine thing you've ever heard of in this country.
Yeah.
So, one person, one vote. We were talking about it in the last election cycle when we were trying to peel off some of those women voters who were leaning towards voting for Kamala.
Yeah.
But they had their Republican husband. Now, some of them still voted for Kamala. But we were saying to them, you don't have to tell your husband who you voted
he's not
for.
going to know how you vote.
Go in that voting booth, and it's just you.
Yep.
Vote your conscience.
Well, Trump will probably be releasing that information soon.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure there'll be an addendum to Project 2025.
Yeah. Well, they're already putting our names up on the White House website. Any left-wing influencers that challenge the administration. Yeah, so you'll see me on there soon, guys.
Yeah. Come and get me.
Exactly. Come and get us. I don't give a shit. But the scariest
in the background now. It's just
the scariest part, I think, of all of this, at least for me, is that he's already talking about deploying the same tactics in Democrat-run cities.
Yeah.
Not Republican cities, just Democrat-run cities.
No.
So it's like it's very clear what the agenda is here for people paying attention, at least.
It's absolutely.
So would you agree that that's probably should be the most alarming thing for us right now?
One of the most alarming things, yes.
What else?
It's the fact that they're only doing this in Democratic cities. That's, yes, alarming in and of itself. The fact that they're doing these things using the military as well.
Yeah.
Not for disasters, not to go help put out fires, not to help relief
policing
after a
American
flood or anything like
citizens.
that. It's about sending the military in to quash peaceful protests.
Yep.
Peaceful protests.
And at this point, I think they're
alarming thing.
I think they're picking.
He did it in his first administration as well. So
yeah, and again, not saying that Democrat presidents have never deployed the National Guard or anything like that. I think Biden did as well, but if I'm remembering correctly, I think it was for a disaster or something.
For disasters.
I don't think it was for a protest or anything like that. So that's what we're trying to get through to y'all. Like this is really new territory for us. Like we're watching unprecedented things.
Well, it happened during the civil rights movement.
What's that?
It happened during the civil rights movement.
Oh well, yeah. No, I meant more recently. But yes, you're absolutely right. No, definitely fair context. Thank you. But no, it's just like the way that they're trying to go back to that time. Matter of fact, I'm glad you said that because it just reminded me. Yeah. Go to the DHS, go to DHS.gov's social media and scroll down a little bit, and you're going to see a photo of, I believe it's either the Capitol or the White House, and it has a caption that we're going back to 1944. So I just want all of our listeners to ask yourselves real quick, what was going on around 1944, not just in our country, but around the world?
Around the world.
And why would you want to go back to that time frame? And then my next question would be, when has America been great for folks like Marcus?
Or women.
Or women. Anybody that's not white, basically, and male.
White males.
If you don't look like me,
but
there's a really good chance that you have not been given a fair shake in this country.
That's a thing, Ryan. We talked about it earlier. Why do you think they're trying to destroy the Department of Education?
Yeah. Rewrite history.
They're trying to take away that history that's hiding right there in plain sight. People don't know about.
Yeah.
And rewrite it. How's the Orwellian phrase go? He who owns the keys to the past holds the keys to the future.
Yep. So, and you know what a key example is for that I can think of recently was actually during COVID. And it was a video that started going around of Tom Hanks, who had said, I had never heard about the Tulsa Massacre. Yeah. And that made everybody else start going and being like, oh, well, what was the Tulsa Massacre? Yeah. And then when all these people started going reading it, it was like, oh, God, It's like, yeah, why weren't we taught that in school? I know I wasn't taught that in the 90s.
No, you never hear anything about Black Wall Street. I mean, I was an adult before I learned about that.
Yeah.
And I didn't learn about it
Same.
in high school or in college.
Yep.
You got to dig a little bit beneath the surface, do a little bit of extra research, and find out that the history that you are getting in school, it's only part of the story. B, it's a glossing over of the story that makes certain figures look like heroes when, in actuality, they were savages in a lot of cases. So,
yeah. Stephanie said, "Oh, but Trump is now going over the Smithsonian to make sure that they display things according to." Yep, that we just mentioned it off the cuff. That's exactly what's happening. They're literally sending people from the administration over there to make sure that the correct history is taught. So
to unwoke it, that was their thing. When
History's
they were using,
history, bro.
When they were talking about woke and removing all DEI, when they were taking all of that out of OPM and out of government,
Genie, same thing.
Removing Jackie Robinson's picture from DOD. I mean,
well, they already put Obama in the hallway that nobody goes down in the White House.
Obama next to a toilet that's for,
He's such a petty little bitch. Like, it's really all Donald Trump has. He's not smart. He's not good at business. He's not a good husband. He's not a good father. Like, he really is not good at, like, he's not even a good fucking golfer. Like, he needs to cheat. He's got people walking around dropping eggs on greens like chickens.
Petty as hell, and it's all about him and his revenge when he feels like he is slighted. And he hates Obama the most because he knows he will never
get that Nobel Peace Prize.
Half the president that Obama was. I mean, he's the worst president since him. So
ever.
Yeah. Trump is the worst president since Trump. Worst president in history.
Yeah.
And he's, but he's done a lot to destroy this country.
And he's trumping himself.
But that's because he's got all this
dad joke
behind him. He knows how the system works. The Leonard Leos and the guys who wrote Project 2025, Federalist Society people. They're living their wet dream right now. Is what I'm saying. They want to go back, like you said, back to a time where white was right.
That's exactly what they're trying to go back to.
And that's what they want to take power, and they want to keep it. Which is why they're cheating in Texas, or trying to cheat in Texas still.
Yes.
But those Democrats who were fighting back from the Texas House.
And I'm glad you brought that up, because I know a lot of us are paying attention to what's happening in Texas because it is so important, because of the precedent it would set. We're all paying attention to Gavin Newsom with his very crafty responses, which I love to see. Hope to see more Democrat representatives playing ball like that. But just a little update. The Texas Senate passed the GOP-friendly House map on Tuesday, putting it a step closer to final passage in the state legislature. The upper chamber voted 19-2 to pass the new set of congressional lines that would give Republicans 5 pickup opportunities in the U.S. House ahead of the 2026 midterm elections. So this is, I don't think that the Democrats are going to be able to stop it in the end. I applaud them for prolonging it, giving everybody more time to get the word out, to show America what's happening. It has definitely moved, I think, the needle on the nation's interest in the story because of what they've done, because they went up to Illinois and did and left. So I hope that we get more representatives to start playing ball like this, because as Stephanie said, it's time to start fighting back. It's not coming fast. We're here. And the question really is, how do we fight back? And Marcus and I were talking, we put something on the outline about a national strike. And as with everything, we're like, is this something that we want to promote? And it wasn't necessarily something that we wanted to put our names behind, but it did end up sparking a really good conversation between us, that we said, you know what, we should have this conversation on air.
Definitely.
And so let me start with you and just ask the question then. What downsides do you see to doing a national strike that's being proposed?
Well, I always look at these strikes. I mean, I look at them in two different ways. So when employees are going on strike to say to let's just use Delta for example. When the I'm not even sure what the right word is. That it's not stewardess anymore, or the cabin
Attendance?
crew. The cabin crew guys went on strike.
Oh, okay.
For better pay. I'm for things like that. They had their strike. They kept it. Yeah, did it hurt travel a little bit? Yeah, it did. But when you start talking about like national strike and boycotting this and boycotting that, I go back and forth on, okay, who does it really hurt at the end of the day? So if we go on a national strike, that hurts businesses across the country. At the end of the day, that's going to hurt working people,
Yeah.
People in the service industry, hotel and restaurant management, you name it, the industry, manufacturing, whatever. It's going to hurt everyday people. And I never want to see everyday people be hurt, especially in the economy that we're living in right now with the price of everything being what it is.
We're struggling.
I mean, we're all struggling right now.
Yeah, man.
No doubt. There's not a person I talk to
that is
not feeling the impact
Same.
of the economy, tariffs, what have you, the deficit, which we'll get into later.
Yep.
But I always go back and forth on that. Sometimes I think it works. Sometimes I think it's not a great thing. It hurts everyday Americans. Like when there was a strike in Atlanta for the All-Star game, baseball.
Oh yeah.
That business didn't come to Atlanta. Who got hurt at the end of the day? It wasn't it wasn't baseball. It wasn't
the local community and the businesses.
It was the vendors who depend on those games. So
yeah, and it's funny because the way I looked at it is very similar when the strikes were going around with like Chick-fil-A and places like that, and because I pride myself in trying to educate myself better and be a good ally to the LGBTQ community, particularly the trans community right now. So it's like, I don't want to do anything that I feel goes against that. But at the same time, there's an economic position to take on this as well, which is, know if your store, like the store you're going to be boycotting, make sure that it's owned by the corporation itself, because it might be owned by somebody that purchased into a franchise. And so are you hurting the franchise, or are you hurting the person that purchased the franchise? Because that person is in your community and pays taxes and cares.
Who's getting hurt?
Exactly. That's who's getting hurt in that scenario. Yeah. So it's like, I can see both sides, because why I agree with you, it hurts people that we definitely don't want to or intend to hurt economically. At the same time, here we are in 2025, a year and a half out from midterms. Mm-hmm. And I'm just going to speak for myself for a second and say, I don't think we can wait until 2026 to do something.
No.
So I don't want to poo-poo this idea or this movement, because I agree that something needs to be done. No. And from where I'm sitting, this is the last step. An economic shutdown is pretty much the only option that we have. Mm-hmm. And the next step is for everybody to pick up their guns. And I think that we need to be realistic of where we are right now as a country and how close we really are to your neighbor picking up a gun and possibly coming to look for you because he knows that you're a liberal or because you're MAGA. Guys, at the end of the day, we're all Americans.
At the end of the day, that's it.
That Trump may want us to forget that. The MAGA movement may want us to forget that. Heritage Foundation may want us to forget that. But that's what Marcus and I are here for. That's what With All Due Respect is about. Because with all due respect, fuck these people. Okay? We have to fight back, whether it's economically, whether it's protesting, whether it's showing up to your state houses, whether it's showing up to DC. I don't give a shit how we do it. But yes, we need to do something. But we also have to keep an eye on the people in our community. We can't sacrifice our communities just for this. We have to find a way to do both.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm and by no means am I suggesting do nothing. If we're gonna boycott,
I don't think either of us
some
are
of the
saying
worst
that.
of
Yeah.
the worst, boycott them, get their attention. We've got to get their attention. I'm a fan of protests, you know, large demonstrations, peaceful protests. You know, I love that, but I also love, you know, mixing it up with these guys and fighting fire with fire, which is why I'm all for Democrats pulling the exact same gerrymandering bullshit that they're trying to pull in Texas.
Amen.
So, you know, you get both sides of me.
Yep. We have to play their way. We have to.
You know, when you're holding all the cards and they decide, okay, we don't want to play cards anymore, we want to play checkers or chess, you know, okay, we'll play that as well.
Yep.
Fight fire with fire. We wrote a whole piece on it. It's
like, I know how to play spades too. Let's go.
Yeah, we're not playing spades anymore with these guys. They're trying to play checkers.
You can't be anti-democracy and still call yourself an American. MAGA's anti-democracy. You're absolutely right, Grant.
They know we'll run it. You know, it'll be 13 books and they'll get nothing because we're on the right side of this.
Nothing. But it really is.
Got to play the game that they're playing. Fight fire with fire. Let's be real. Get their attention. We're not going to out moralize them. We're not going to out high ground them. You know,
not going to out educate them.
We go high. You know, that's just not going to happen. Sorry, this chair is just giving me
you're good.
trouble. But yeah, we can't. You know, we try to have the conversation with these guys. We try to present good policies. They're not trying to hear any of that.
And data.
They're not trying to hear any of that. So that tells me they're not on the side of the American people. They don't care. They just want power. Full stop. And we've got to do everything we can do to keep them from getting it.
Yep.
Democrats, the party that's not trying to destroy democracy, doesn't take back the House.
We're in deep shit.
In this midterm cycle, we're in trouble.
Yeah.
We're in trouble.
No, I think that's the simplest way you can put it without being profanity laced is, you know, this isn't a joke. I don't feel like this is a partisan issue anymore. I think it's become very evident what everybody's intentions are in this equation. You know, last couple shows, Marcus and I have talked about him being a Democrat, me being an independent right now. And, you know, I guess I want to talk to all those independents out there and even you Republicans out there that don't recognize your party anymore. Mm-hmm. Come on over. Okay. Help us out for an election or two. I'm not asking you to leave your party. I'm asking you to help your party become what it used to be. The Republican Party of John McCain, that when a woman stands up and says that Barack Obama is a terrorist, that he actually corrects her and says, no, he's a good man. He's an American. We just differ on political policies. Those days are gone, but those are the days that I think a lot of us want back.
Let me tell you, I met John McCain at the U.S. Embassy in Iraq, and it was 2005, 2006 time frame. That was who he was. That was the person. That wasn't show.
He wasn't Hulk Hogan.
He wasn't Hulk Hogan. It wasn't all for show. This guy, you know, sat and talked with me. Just a guy he just met walking in the hallways at the embassy, and we had a conversation. And that was who he was. He'd sit back and have a conversation with you just because you approached him.
Yep.
And when I saw the way he responded to that lady, I watched that town hall, and I was like, when she said that, I was shaking my head. I was like, oh my fucking goodness. That's one of those times where I was kind of worried about where this country was headed, you know, because, you know, all of the vitriol that they came at Obama with, you know, it was fucking sickening. And I was happy to see that, at least at that time, we could get over it.
At least we got 8 years of him.
But then that pendulum swung so far back in the other direction when we brought Trump. You know, when people were saying, oh, we're in a post-racial America, I didn't believe that shit for 1 second.
No.
I knew it was going to get bad. I just didn't know how bad. We're seeing that now, how bad it can get.
Yeah. Did you see the video of Lawrence Taylor at the White House?
Man, and that was another one of those.
My man didn't know where he was or what he was doing.
Yeah.
He didn't even know why
literally
he was there.
said, I don't know what the hell I'm doing here.
But I'm here to serve, I guess.
Come on, man. You know.
Oh, man.
The guy that I don't even want to repeat the shit that he got in trouble about. But you know, he's it turns my stomach, you know. Yeah. But this is who Trump wants to parade in front of millions of people and say, hey, look, I'm not racist. I got this guy here with me.
Well, the bad thing is this isn't even the craziest that we're dealing with this guy. So for those of you, again, who may not have heard because you have a job and maybe you don't have 8 hours a day to listen to everything these people drop, we get a week's worth of news in a day now. So don't feel bad. The U.S. national debt has reached a record $37 trillion, the Treasury Department has reported. So my question, Marcus, is the debt has already started increasing at an accelerated rate.
So it's about $1 trillion every 6 months is what it's going up now?
I believe that's correct.
For context, the debt didn't hit $1 trillion until 1981. Or 1980, one of those years.
It was one of those years.
That's when the debt hit $1 trillion. So for context, 10 trillion was in the 90s or early 2000s, 2003, somewhere in there. Now we're adding $1 trillion worth of debt every 6 months. Now, part of that's due to, you know, the COVID crisis that the pandemic that we went through and recovering from that. But another part of it is, you know, this Trump administration and these tax cuts. So this is going to start happening. It's going to start spiraling out of control, and that's going to affect everything. Your mortgages, when you want to buy a new car, interest rates, everything.
Everything.
Prices that you spend at the grocery store. You know, we talk ad nauseum about, you know, how everything's more expensive. It's going to keep getting more expensive. Unless we do something, unless we start taking this seriously.
Yep. Here's a graph, just a quick little graph. And as you can see, what Marcus was talking about, right about 1980, it starts to hit that 1 trillion mark and then starts to go up. So we hit 5 trillion around, looks like 95-ish. 2000, still we're sitting around 6 trillion. And then when Bush takes office and September 11th happens and all the wars start, that's when the debt starts to really go up. Then the housing market crash of 2008 and all that, drastic uptick, and it pretty much hasn't stopped since then. And then COVID, all of that, and now Trump passing all of his ridiculous tax credits
May
for the billionaires.
2023, we're at 31 trillion. Now we're at $37 trillion.
And the big beautiful bill is going to add a projected 4.7 trillion.
Over the next 10 years. So
where was I'm confused. I thought Donald Trump was going to balance our budget, that he was going to make so many good business deals that we wouldn't have to pay income tax anymore. Like, I'm very confused.
Every time a Republican administration comes in, they ride in on talking about the economy and how they're going to lower prices and how they're going to, you know, lower the debt, and then it balloons under. It ballooned under Trump the last time.
Yep.
And now it's ballooning again.
Yep.
And we can't afford it.
And by the way, if you go look at the graph for the last 5, 6, even 10 years, and you are going to see where the Democrats are in control of the budget and where Republicans are in control of the budget. Like, it's a graph, people. It's data. You can't, like, you can try to spin it if you want. Like, here's a spin. Donald Trump is not going to release monthly job reports anymore.
No, absolutely. Because they're not going to say what he wants them to say. And if anybody dares speak the truth and goes back and revises the previous month's report, guess what? That guy's out. He can't be trusted.
Oh, wait a minute.
He can't be trusted to say what we want him to say.
Oh, because we don't want to lie here on the show. This story was updated from the last time I read it. So give us a second. EJ Antoni, President Donald Trump's pick to lead the Bureau of Labor Statistics, is no longer considering suspending the monthly jobs report. Okay. So apparently they probably saw the pushback and was like, okay, maybe that's not a good idea.
Maybe not.
Well, hey, I'll take that. At least because we need to see the data.
Yes.
Especially from the people, as you just pointed out, sir, that said we need transparency in government.
Yeah.
Well, why are you guys all of a sudden okay with Donald Trump taking away all the transparency?
Sycophants, man.
If a Democrat was doing it, they'd have their pitchforks at the White House gate.
Well, we remember what it was like when they were talking about how Obama was blowing up the budget or the deficit and
with the ACA, yeah, exactly. Obamacare.
Oh, yep. He's going to destroy the deficit. I mean, but Trump,
and yet
with his tax cuts for billionaires, it's okay.
You got suckered, people.
Crickets.
I hate to break it to you, you got suckered.
Yeah, they fell for the no tax on tips and things. And if you're making under whatever, your taxes aren't going to go up.
And you have to itemize. How many people that work jobs that get tips do you know that itemize their taxes? Oh, and on top of that, the Trump administration also made it so that Americans can no longer file their taxes for free. You now have to pay somebody.
Yeah.
This is what you voted for.
You didn't know it. I mean, that's one of my good friends said.
We knew it.
They gave you that little piece of sugar at the tip of the shit sandwich.
3 little morsels of sugar too, not even a lot.
All you tasted was the sugar, but it made you forget about all the rest of the shit that you're going to have to eat because of that little bit of sugar. Truth. I mean, they didn't make those no tax on tips permanent. No, that's not permanent. But guess what?
The billionaire taxes are.
That is permanent.
Yep.
That is permanent. So.
Oh man. So
here we are again.
I think we just should end the show on foreign affairs and policies.
All right.
So I don't know if you heard this, Marcus, but apparently we're giving Alaska back to Russia and Putin.
Are we now?
Trump said it 5 times. He's going there on the 15th. He's going to Russia.
Exactly.
For those of you who don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, Donald Trump said that he's meeting Putin in Russia on the 15th, which I believe is Friday.
In Alaska.
Yep. But the meeting's actually taking place in Alaska, on American soil, at least for now.
What if that had been Joe Biden making that exact same mistake?
25th Amendment right now, he's not fit to be president.
He's lost it.
Yep.
He's senile. He has Alzheimer's. Get him the hell out of here or something.
He's not running the White House. Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way,
maybe Trump's not running the White House. Maybe we should start that.
Well, they keep talking about crime in Washington, D.C. I know where you can find a felon and a sexual abuser and a prolific business fraud.
Right in the White House.
And a matter of fact, he's surrounded with law enforcement. You could just call one of them up and say, arrest that dude.
And to be clear, guys, crime in D.C. is way down. So violent crime in D.C. is way down.
Did you see the spin?
Who are Metro police officers in D.C. And I can tell you.
Did you see the spin though?
Oh yeah, I've seen the spin. Yeah.
The fuck, they're like, oh well, those numbers aren't right. We caught them.
Really? How about your labor statistics numbers?
Yeah,
those right?
You fired somebody over.
You wanted to fire someone over. Let's focus on that. So, hey, we got to federalize the police in D.C. because crime's way up in D.C. Yeah, yep. It's all because of this former Doge guy who got, I guess, carjacked and beat up.
Big balls.
Yeah, big balls.
Yeah, seeing him bloody on the ground. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that made me happy. I know I'm a terrible person. It's okay. Look, I never get sad when Nazis get punched in the face.
No.
And in my opinion, that's what happened there.
I mean, that's an American tradition.
It should be. You want to go back to 1944. Yeah. I want to go back to punching Nazis in the face.
Let's go back to that. I mean, getting back to this Trump and Putin summit, which is basically all it is. I mean, it's not about Zelensky. It's not about getting a peace deal done. Because as he shouldn't Zelensky and the Ukrainian people are not going to say, all right, you guys can have Crimea, the Donbass. They're not going to say that, but Trump will go in, sit down with Putin once again. And I've said this before, when it comes to Putin, Trump is about as outmatched as a 14-year-old dating a stripper. There's just no comparison. That guy's going to run circles around him every time. And Trump's going to capitulate and try and give him everything he wants, even though now he's been talking tough lately. He's going to go in there.
I think the stripper loves
him like a beach chair. It's 14-year-old.
I'm sorry, bro. That was the best comparison I've heard.
But it's true. I know it sounds funny.
It's so true.
But that's how outmatched he is when it comes to dealing with Putin. He is way out of his head.
I'm telling you, man, Putin, he sees Trump walk in the room and he gets excited.
He gets excited.
I bet he gets a boner. Like, I'm about to fuck this guy.
Oh, yeah. I'm about to walk right over this guy. Anything I want, I'm going to get. And that's been the case. Now, why? I talked with Michael Cohen. He said there's no P tape. I believe that. But there's something that Russia has on Trump. There's something.
I think a lot of it, honestly, I think it boils down to his business. I really think a lot of it is that the people that have stuff over on him are the ones that are so invested in him. Yeah. I've talked about this before. The reason that Elon Musk won't fail is because everybody will keep loaning him money because so many billionaires and millionaires have invested in him in some way, shape, or form. Whether it's through Tesla, whether it's through X, whether it's through SpaceX, they are invested in him in some way. And if he fails, their financial portfolio fails.
The federal
government. Same thing with Donald Trump. If Donald Trump fails, they fail. Their buildings with his name on the side of them fail. Anything that he touches fails. So all these people have a vested interest in keeping the puppet going. Yeah. And that's really, in my opinion, that's as basic as it can be broken down of what is wrong with America, is that all the rich people are keeping the most crooked and disgusting people in these positions of power and keeping them wealthy so that they can keep everybody else wealthy.
That all boils down to greed.
Yep.
Full stop.
It really is.
Boils down to. It's greed.
So with that, my friend, that is the end.
Brother,
do you have anything you want to add before I sign us off?
It's always a pleasure sitting down and talking the topics with my good friend Ryan. People keep checking us out across all of our channels. We appreciate you being here and spending an hour or so with us. God bless you and good night, as far as I'm concerned.
Yes, sir. And please go check out With All Due Respect. We are downloadable on Apple, Spotify. It should be available on pretty much any podcast streaming platform. Go subscribe to Marcus's Substack. Go subscribe to my YouTube. And we will see you guys next week for another episode of With All Due Respect. I'll leave you as I always do with much love. Keep fighting. But most importantly right now, stay safe out there.
God bless.